Howdy, how y'all doing? This is George the Fearless Rambler, and I'm hoping it's having a wonderful day. Today we're here at our bunkhouse, and we're putting in a gas stove, and a unique gas stove. Now unique, not that it's unique, but that's the name of the brand. We need to get our gas lines to it, and if you're interested in that story, come join us. Howdy Rambling crew, welcome back to this bunkhouse build. In this video, I'm walking you through how I installed the black pipe gas line for the 20-inch unique LPG stove that we're installing here in our compact kitchen. We start off by finishing up the lower cabinets and getting this unique propane stove in place. Now it's a great fit for this cozy kitchen, but of course, that means it's time to tackle that gas line install. Do you know what's important? Reading the installation manual before you go buy the parts. There's a page here about connection, and you need to know what parts you need before you go ahead and try to install it. Now before picking up a single pipe, I spent some time designing out the layout. Planning ahead up here in the mountains avoids those frustrating last minute runbacks to the store, since it's over a 2-hour round trip. After completely reading through the manual, the whole 9 yards. When is this installation instructions going to end? Well, we better move on. I worked out the design for the outside run using 1/2-inch diameter black pipe heading through the exterior wall, hooking up to that inside shutoff valve. Now I'm going to take this black pipe across the back side of the bunkhouse till we get to the solar shed. That's going to be 13 inches above the ground, and that's per code. We calculate the length to be about 51 inches to match to the back side of the sink inside. Working continues that black pipe across the back with 2 sections with the T about 10 inches away from that solar shed. The T will allow me to hook up the water heater to this run, but I'm going to do that later on, so let's go ahead and plug it. I'm continuing this 1/2-inch black pipe across the solar shed until it gets to an auto changeover 2-stage propane regulator. Now that's my design, so I need to go and make a part list and head to that box store. Now with the detailed part list, I picked up everything I needed. Black pipe, elbows, nipples, and some 3-way T-connectors, thread sealant, a shutoff valve, gas flex tubing, and everything else I needed other than that regulator. I bought that off of Amazon. Back at the bunkhouse, I laid everything out on the picnic table. I did a quick inventory. Now to get this gas line going, I had to buy some equipment. Some 1/2-inch pipe, some flex hoses, had to get my tools out, had to get a regulator ready to put some LPG tanks on it, and all the system ready for us to get that stove up and going. One thing it does say here, I'm just going to read it because it's kind of odd, because most cases when you're dealing with a stove, you're going to be using a 1/2-inch flex pipe going to it, right? But in this case, it says here, connect the supply 1/2-inch threaded pipe to the unit regulator located at the back left of the unit. And we found it very hard to hook up to it. And it's very hard on down. I'm going to show you in a second, but they have it aligned up to a bar going down. See this? This is kind of stupid. So they give you a little suggestion here to get a gas line to your stove. And it says, we suggest a 1/2-inch female to a 3/8 male flare adapted at the end to the 1/2-inch threaded pipe supply. You can see in here, notice this bar. Now if I was actually putting in a gas line, what I'm doing, to a regular stove, I'd be using a 1/2-inch MIP to a 1/2-inch flare and using the 1/2-inch flex pipe to get in there. But there's no way, if you notice here, to get this 1/2-inch into where this flare is, because they actually put this support bar in the way. So I could probably either cut this out to get that 1/2-inch in there, or do what they suggest and go to a 3/8. I'm not sure if I'm that happy about putting a 3/8 to a stove, but hey, they're saying to do it. Those 3/8 are really made for dryers and not really gas to a stove, but I'm going to go to the 3/8. If you're going to deal with the 1/2-inch to a 3/8, well, that 3/8 flare is going to fit onto a 3/8 pipe. Now I have a short 3/8 gas flex hose, and we're going to go ahead and hook it up to a 1/2 gas flex hose. So any way I could get it to fit. I'm not sure why they have it designed that way. Let's go see if it works. So if I switch this out here from a 1/2 MIP to a 3/8 flare, I'll just show you this. I still have to put Teflon tape in here. I'm just checking, make sure I can get it to fit. And if I do this right, I can bend that 3/8 just enough to actually get that to move in there. There we go. So 3/8 does work, but I don't know why they would do this when really the gas line should be 1/2 inch. Now they do say use a 1/2 inch pipe going to it. So I'm going to switch that over and actually hook up the 1/2 inch to this 3/8 to get it over to my gas line. Yeah, kind of weird, but I'm going to get it to work. Now if you get online, Unique has a new installation manual, and it doesn't have that 1/2 inch MIP to the 3/8 flare at the manifold. So they may have changed the design, and I hope they did. Now you want to verify that, but if they have, good for them. What that means, they may have taken away that bar so you can get a 1/2 inch gas line into it. Now to help reduce gas leaks, you need to either put in a Teflon tape that's made for gas pipes or a pipe thread sealant. Now in my other videos I've been using this pipe thread sealant, but in this case it suggests using the tape at least down here at the manifold. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Teflon tape. You need to put this tape around 6 times. So let's see if I can get it going. Why 6? Because it suggests 6. Now I've been told that flares do not need to have the Teflon tape. I'm going to put some on anyway. You just don't want to make sure you don't block off that flare. They're suggesting it here in their installation manual. So I'm going to do what they're suggesting. Now this will just reduce the leak here. This is going to help stop the leak. These are tapered threads, so as you put on, they'll put compression upon the thread and stop any leakage in the first place. This is just to help reduce it. Snug up this fitting, but don't over tighten. If you over tighten, you might crack the manifold. We will also only snug up that flex tubing. We don't want to over tighten any of the threads. That will also include assembling all of our black pipes and joints. I'm going to do this with this union, 1/2 inch union. This 1/2 inch flex hose will go up to my 1/2 inch gas shutoff valve, which will be easy access under the sink just above the sediment trap. Now before setting up your system, I suggest blowing out all the black pipe because it's been sitting in a box store for a long time. So there's a bunch of dust and crap that accumulates inside. So I need to put on this pipe thread sealant, and I'm going to use the wire brush and clean off the threads. I have both sides. So I'm just assembling it here on the bench because I'm kind of lazy. We've pre-assembled it, as you can see. Make sure it fits in the place that we're going to be putting it. So it fits right in here. I just thought it might be easier just sitting on the bench and putting all this together. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So one piece at a time. Now we have some pipe thread sealant. It goes on all the joints. Now you could use Teflon tape if your regulations allow it. I just like using this stuff right here. Just so much easier to work with. Now this is non-hardening, so it never really hardens, but it will seal all your joints. A lot of times it's called this dope or pipe dope. Now just a short reminder, you just want it nice and snug, but don't over torque. You want it tight, not cracked. There it is. The next joint I'm putting together is right here. And maybe I should just have one on there. There we go. So I'm just gonna do the old-fashioned way and just spin it around just for fun. Oh, look at that. Let's see. that's about it. Okay, so time for the next joint. Let's go ahead and put this in place. See how it fits in here. You do want to go underneath the hoses here and underneath the wire. That's going to go right in that little slot I just cut out, and it's going to go line up to about right here. Again, like I explained, this here, though I have it plugged, will come up to here once I get all that all set up. Not going to do that today. I'm just going to get the stove working, but this will work my water heater. I have it 13 inches above. The regulations here in our county needs to be 12 at least. I set 13 up just because how it's going to fit underneath the sink. I've drawn a little box here where I wanted this to end up in, so I can drill a hole here to get the shutoff valve inside the house. So I went ahead and marked where the hole is. Got the center of my hole right there. Okay, and now we just drill through it. I'm using 7/8 to fit the 1/2 inch pipe. Now when we're looking at black pipe, 1/2 inch means inside diameter, not the out. So you have to measure the outside diameter to get the hole through the wall. I'm going to take this 8-inch black pipe and stick it through the hole to see if it fits all the way through. And it does. Now it's time to get this 8-inch pipe onto our assembly and get it through that hole to put the outside into the inside. Now let's go ahead and get a final snug on it and send it through. We're going to take the hammer for a second and pound it in just a little bit to get it flush.
Go, stop!
So we got it in. We haven't put the brackets in yet. I'm just going to check for level. If you look here, I have it pretty level. I'll check this one over here, though I haven't put the brackets on. This one here is pretty level too, so this is doing pretty good. I got it at 13-inch center, and it's level. It went through the wall pretty easily. When you're drilling from both sides, sometimes you're just off a little bit. Now it's probably off maybe 1/8 of an inch. I just forced it through. I need to secure this outside pipe to the wall before I work inside, so I don't push that 8-inch pipe back out of that hole. The manual suggests putting a sediment trap, and I've done that with a T, a 3-inch nipple, and a cap. Simple design, but it works. Now only if I can get my hands under this plumbing. It would make it a simple assembly. One of the most important things you can do to put in your gas shutoff valve with easy access. If you notice here, I went ahead and hooked up my 1/2 inch gas flex hose to the shutoff valve, and then drilled a hole in the bottom of the cabinet and sent that hose out to the range. I finished off the inside by connecting the 1/2 inch hose to the 3/8 hose with a union, and then snugged it right up so I wouldn't have any gas leaks. So the regulator that I picked out for this is a propane double-sided auto-changing regulator. That means if I put 2 tanks here, when one will run out, it'll pick up the next one. These RV regulators require you to use a 3/8 black pipe going into them. So you notice I'm putting in a 3/8 3-inch nipple that will be attached to a 1/2 inch 3/8 reducer. Yeah, we need to do that to get that 1/2 inch diameter black pipe down to 3/8, so we can use this RV 2-stage regulator. Yeah, you can see 1/2 inch pipe, 1/2 inch to 3/8, 3/8 pipe to fit onto the regulator. As I'm busy watching, Terry's taking some time to level out an area so she can install some pavers so we have a nice flat, stable area to put our propane tanks on.
Oh, that didn't take very long to do.
Thanks, Terry, for the hard work. It looks great. The last thing I need to hook up will be the pigtails heading down to the tanks. Yeah, I need to feed the gas to the system, so let's get that done. Just need to fight with that Teflon tape again, and of course screw it in with a mil 1/4 inch MPT. That's National Pipe Thread. Now look at this, Sammy's excited that I finished the assembly. Now I just need to check it. Now I need to check for gas leaks. One way of doing it is getting a gas detector and checking it, or what it suggests in the unique manual, mix up some soap and water and then squirt soap and water on all the joints and see if you get any bubbles on it. But also trust your nose. Yeah, if you smell ethyl mare captain, you know, the smell of propane, that's a rotten egg or skunky spray smell, yeah, you also have a leak. So go ahead and use that soap method to find that leak. And if you smell a heavy gas smell, yeah, turn off those tanks and the gas shutoff valve. Don't light anything, don't use your cell phones, wait till it airs out, and if you can't find your leaks, go ahead and get a gas expert to come check out your system or even install it for you. I had a leak right here, which just wasn't tight enough. Check this. It'll look good. Some on here, it tells us where to put the battery, but I'm not sure. I might tell you in the oven instructions, Terry. It's in there.
That one I bumped a little bit.
Okay. Got gas to it. Yeah, it's working.
Hey, we have gas.
Woohoo! Straight back. Go all the way. Wow, that sure been fun getting the stove in and getting the gas lines out to it so we can actually use it finally. And I do appreciate everybody for joining us today. And if you like, do me a favor and subscribe, hit that notification bell and give me 2 thumbs up, because this is George the Fiddler's Rambler, ready to set up my solar system, signing off.